Okay, what we're doing in this problem is really kind of setting you up for down the road, for those of you that are going on into calculus or business calculus, when you have to use the chain rule. And even in pre-calculus, you have to know how to do what's called decomposing two functions, kind of pulling them back apart to let me know how they started to end up with how it currently looks. So let's look at an example. I'm going to work questions 11 and 12 together since they're the same type of problem. So, you'll come with me to problem number 11. What you're asked to do is to find f and find g such that h of x was done by composing f with g, and h of x turns out to be 5 minus 9x squared quantity to the second power. Now, they're kind of giving you a hint here. They're telling you to let g of x equal 5 minus 9x. What I normally tell my students is, look for the function that's inside parens as the function you start with. And you can see by the way h was designed that you're starting with g. So g is the initial function. That's sort of our step one. So g of x is the function inside, which is 5 minus 9x. F of x is the function that takes input, whatever input you give it, and raises it to the second power. And the way we would write that algebraically, f of x would equal x squared. And we're done. Problem number 12 works pretty much the same way. This time I've given you that h of x is equal to this. Now again, even though they gave you a clue to use g of x as 3x plus 9, I would kind of want you to know that anyhow, anything that's under the radical is a good function to start with as your initial function, and in this problem g of x is the initial function. So 3x plus 9 is our g of x. F of x would be the function that does this. It has 2 in the numerator, and in the denominator it takes the square root of the input, and in general you call input x. So the correct answer for f of x would be 2 over the square root of x. And I'll just remind you of a little joke in class when I was teaching this. I asked you, what is Beethoven doing right now? And the answer was, he is decomposing. And now you just did the same thing. So what you can tell your wife or your husband or your significant other is that you did the same thing in math today as Beethoven did.